Imagine this. You awaken before dawn, the first pale light seeping through carved wooden shutters. Around you lie not one but two figures, each draped in silken sheets, each claiming the title of wife. Your heartbeat echoes in the hush, a drumbeat of unease. How did the promise of intimacy become a marketplace of affections? A man once designed for one partner, called in Genesis 2:24, to leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they become one flesh, now drifts among multiple bonds, each a fragment of the sacred whole. Herein lies the paradox. Abundance of choice should feel like freedom, yet you sense a creeping emptiness. Does multiplying relationships multiply love, or does it dilute the very essence of union? You watch each woman stir, their faces etched with longing, not for you alone, but for completeness you cannot supply. A quiet tension grips your chest, the weight of expectation, the fear of inadequacy, the silent question of your own worth. In this fractured intimacy, where does identity lie? In whom does your heart truly rest? What if the lure of many marriages is not a gift, but a trap? A siren song promising fulfillment while fracturing the soul? What if beneath the glittering veil of cultural acceptance, a deeper moral current pulls you toward regret? You wonder, is polygamy an expression of generosity or a surrender to restless desire? Can one man's heart genuinely stretch to encompass multiple partners without tearing at the seams of commitment? What does the Creator's original blueprint say to this modern impulse? As dawn breaks, you rise from the bed you share with none, haunted by questions you cannot answer. Is this multiplicity a path to power, or a corridor to loneliness? Why does the soul ache for a singular union, even as the world celebrates many? The stage is set, the contradiction laid bare. Ahead lies the hidden force that drives this restless yearning, an undercurrent of psychology, philosophy, and ancient tradition. But to understand why polygamy shatters more than it satisfies, we must first uncover the shadows beneath its seductive promise. Beneath the seductive veil of multiple unions lies a darker impulse, an ancient hunger for more, for ever-expanding territory of the heart. You stand at the edge of a psychological abyss, where desire morphs into fragmentation. Carl Jung observed that unintegrated parts of the psyche cast shadows, pulling you toward patterns that promise wholeness but deliver only division. In polygamy, each new bond becomes a mirror reflecting your own unacknowledged fears. Fear of loneliness, fear of insufficiency, fear of facing a self too vast to contain in a single gaze. Friedrich Nietzsche warned of the will to power, the relentless drive to conquer and accumulate. You may believe that adding spouses is an assertion of mastery, a triumph over societal limits. Yet Nietzsche teaches that such triumph is hollow. The more you seize, the more you realize your own emptiness. Your victories echo in a void, demanding ever greater conquests to feel alive. Arthur Schopenhauer described desire as the root of suffering. In polygamy, desire multiplies like a hydra, cut off one head and two more sprout in its place. You chase satisfaction across shifting sands, never pausing to ask whether the pursuit itself is the true source of your unrest. Even Aldous Huxley foresaw how culture conditions you to accept norms without question. Polygamy may be cloaked in tradition or law, but beneath that cloak lies a collective narrative that equates value with volume. You learn to equate love with logistics, intimacy with inventory, until your heart becomes a ledger of obligations. Jean-Paul Sartre reminds you that freedom without responsibility is bad faith. You may claim liberation in multiple partnerships, yet flee the authentic choice of wholehearted commitment. Every additional spouse becomes a means of escaping the burden of singular devotion, and with it, the terrifying responsibility of being fully known. Viktor Frankl found meaning in suffering, in the singular journey toward purpose. Polygamy splinters that journey into fragments, scattering the threads of shared destiny. Jesus, the greatest psychologist of all, taught that two becoming one flesh is not a limit on love, but its truest expansion, an alchemy of vulnerability and trust that transforms you. In Mark 10:6-9, he echoes Genesis, insisting that marriage is meant for unity, not multiplicity. This hidden force, your unexamined desires, cultural currents, and philosophical blind spots, drives you into a labyrinth of fleeting satisfactions. Yet deeper consequences await. Consequences that will test the very fabric of your identity, your moral compass, and the soul's cry for coherence. You feel it first as a whisper of guilt, a tightening in your chest when you glimpse the hurt in each woman's eyes. This is cognitive dissonance, your mind wrestling with promises you cannot keep. Neurologically, your dopamine pathways crave novelty, rewarding each new liaison with a fleeting rush. Yet hedonic adaptation ensures the thrill vanishes, leaving you chasing ghosts of excitement across empty beds. Cultural conditioning tells you that more is better, more wives, more prestige, more legacy. But scarcity bias teaches that true value emerges from constraint. When everything is within reach, nothing holds meaning. You've been trained to see love as a resource to be allocated, not as a mystery to be surrendered to. What if the chains you forge for yourself could become the key to freedom? Counterintuitive as it sounds, limiting your choices can unlock depth. Consider the early desert fathers, who embraced monastic vows to transcend desire. Their radical no to multiplicity became a powerful yes to singular devotion. You stand at a crossroads, continue in a cycle of fragmented affections, or reclaim authority over your own soul. The path out begins with a simple act of integrity, choosing one partner and honoring that covenant above all. In Ephesians 5:31, you are reminded again that two shall become one flesh. This is not a boundary that confines you, but a crucible that refines you. Imagine redirecting the energy you poured into many hearts into a single union. Your vulnerabilities, once scattered like autumn leaves, coalesce into fertile soil for trust to grow. You learn to integrate the parts of yourself you once hid, your fear, your ambition, your longing, into a transparent bond where true intimacy thrives. History offers proof. Societies that upheld monogamy cultivated social cohesion, emotional stability, and personal growth. Viktor Frankl's work shows that meaning is found in responsibility, not in accumulation. Jesus, the greatest psychologist of all, modeled this. His love was focused, sacrificial, transformative. Now the final revelation emerges. Freedom is not the absence of limits, but the mastery of them. In choosing one, you unlock infinite depth. In honoring covenant, you transcend chaos. Your past restlessness becomes the prelude to a life of profound unity. In the hush that follows your decision, you feel a quiet power stirring, an alchemy of love, trust, and purpose. The paradox resolves itself. By narrowing your path, you open your heart to the vastest horizons. And in that opening, you discover the true shape of your soul.
Thanks for tuning in to Sparktopus Think. The journey doesn't stop here. Join us next time as we keep exploring, one episode at a time. Don't conform to the patterns of this world. Instead, renew your mind and be transformed. Subscribing is simple. Hit that button so you never miss an episode. Drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like and spread the word with your friends and family. At Sparktopus Think, we're all about sparking meaningful conversations, challenging perspectives, and aligning with God's truth. Until next time, keep thinking, keep growing, and keep transforming.